Hi, I'm Ghostface. I stream on Twitch sometimes and I play video games. And I saw this. I saw some people making videos about this. So I wanted to throw my 2 cents into this pot because I feel like this is something that I can actually talk about. So I don't want to take up too much time. I want this to be sweet and short and sweet. I'm going to point things out in the trailer that upset me. And I'm trying to... Listen, I don't want to come at this as another person who just dogs on a film, yeah? Because video game movie bad. This film is a hot mess. And there are a lot of things that point me towards that direction, a lot of changes. And again, creative liberties, sure. When a game such as Borderlands has as much lore as it does, and instead of, I don't know, adapting the game and actually making a concise video game, you decide to throw shit together like literally out of nowhere. I'll get my point. Let's just start the trailer. Let's just instantly.
Would you look at that?
So instantly, Tannis outside of her cave. It took Tannis ages to do that. Yeah, in Borderlands 1, you see all of her audio logs of her being crippled with anxiety. So her being out of her cave in Borderlands, in a movie that is pre-Borderlands 1. Because again, at the end of Borderlands 1, Atlas is dead. Atlas show up in this trailer, so that's already a massive red flag. And then this crew, you don't have Brick and you don't have Mordecai. So you've already got a character from Borderlands 2, two characters from Borderlands 1, and then Tiny Tina, who doesn't show up till 2. So you've already got a mixed match of a crew. This character in and of itself is completely movie, like, it's brand new to the movie. Like, there are more examples of her, but let's just break it down.
Unfortunately, my design
So
doesn't
this,
facilitate this type
I don't like the, like, claptrap's meant to have a high pitch. That's whatever. I don't mind Jack Black doing a more deeper tone. I don't mind that. It's not as obnoxious, so I don't mind it. Roland kicking him is very Roland-esque. So again, they've nailed characters on, but the crew is incorrect. They've just slapped it together. And I don't mind if they want to redo it, but when you label it the Borderlands trailer and you paint this as a Borderlands film and none of it is Borderlands lore, again, I'll get into it. Well, so far, I've already picked loads of issues.
Destiny awaits.
This gives me very Borderlands 3 vibes. Atlas Corporation, this entire thing is giving me Prometheus from Borderlands 3. And there's other things that are straight ripped from Borderlands 3. So it shows that this film, they just didn't have an angle. They just took things from every game and just said, fuck it, let's ball. And again, it's upsetting because there's so much lore that they could have pulled from. There's so much stuff that they could have pulled from. But again, I'll go on. I don't want to repeat myself too much.
It that there's this.
I don't even know what this is meant to be. I guess you could say Hyperius, but like, this is just, like, it's not a sanctuary, and it's not the fucking H that, like, Hyperius, or Hyperion is known for. I shouldn't have said Hyperius, that's the boss fight, my bad. I'm getting too into it.
Massive treasure
yeah.
hidden in some secret vault.
So this is clearly their first vault. So Brick and Mordecai just don't exist in this universe at all. And I don't know why they would do that. I don't know why that would be their cognitive decision to make, but whatever.
And if you go hunting for it, you better take any help you can get.
So again, Krieg shouldn't be in this. This is all Borderlands. This is all Borderlands. So I saw someone call this Crom. Now, I might edit in a photo, I might not edit in a photo. This gives me humongous mouthpiece vibes. Humongous. The headset, all of it. It gives me massive... I might throw a picture here in editing of what mouthpiece looks like. But it gives me massive mouthpiece vibes. And again, mouthpiece, that's a Borderlands 3 enemy. If you're trying to paint this as a Borderlands 1 boss, why is he here? Like...
dangerous dumpster fire of a world in the universe. God, I hate this planet.
So we continue going on.
What is that smell?
Piss wash go.
So push wash. Look, listen. He says piss wash.
What is that smell?
Piss wash go.
Ew.
So piss wash is a Borderlands 1 location. So we've seen a Borderlands 3 boss, a Borderlands 1 location, and characters from Borderlands 2. So they've ripped from everything here.
I don't
Completely.
want to. Roll the window up.
It's Pete. It's Pete. Why do you think it's called piss wash? How did it get the name?
See? Like, they just took from everything, and it's so upsetting to see. So upsetting. Because again, if the film lacks so much direction, yeah, and they're just taking from everything. They're making a unique and brand new story. I won't be able to appreciate this because the Borderlands lore means so much to me. I've played the games my entire life. I grew up with these games. I'm not going to want someone to come in years later and just readapt the entire storyline. That makes no sense. And again, now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. We're getting into the super nitty-gritty. This is a super Borderlands 3 kind of gun. I'm sorry that, like, if you look at how it shoots and everything, like, it shoots so much like a Borderlands 3 gun. Like, it's an automatic pistol that has the flipping revolver. That's super Borderlands 3 and super Borderlands 2. Not the angle that they should be going with a Borderlands 1 film if you want to start the story off right. But what can I do about it? Yeah, I don't mind all of this. This is Sanctuary. Again, these technicals weren't really in Borderlands 1. They were a Borderlands 2 vehicle. So again, they've taken another thing from a different game. They've just mismatched.
Looking for this vault? We have something they don't, baby
Okay.
girl. Okay. What? Major.
Let's just keep it going. Okay, now my next issue. Yo, Ghostface here. Small editing error. I said they were carriers. I meant to say they were assault rifles. All of the guns. Carrier is a gun name. It's a legendary gun. I meant to. Carrier is the gun I think of when I think of Atlas assault rifles. However, my point still stands. It's just, if you know anything about the game, you can be like, well, they're not carriers. They're just your bog standard, run of the mill Atlas assault rifles. It's a wording error. I just wanted to fix it in post because I do say it quite a few times, and it's one of my harping points. They shouldn't use a gun that's in Borderlands 3 for a Borderlands 1 film. You're combining loads of different eras of the franchise and the lore, and it just doesn't make sense ultimately. That's all from back to the regular video. These guns are carriers. These are Borderlands 3 Atlas guns. That's what they are. They're Borderlands 3 Atlas guns. This is all Borderlands 3-esque. The Crimson Lance was a thing, correct. But these guns specifically are Borderlands 3 guns. And cool, you want to take the guns that look best, that's fine. But the Borderlands 3 guns being what they were was because of Reese. If Reese isn't in the picture, why the fuck are they using his stuff? I don't want to like bog this film down on nitty gritty details. But if you're making a game based off, if you're making a movie based off a game that has so much lore, you can't just do that. That's not something you can just do.
Time to make it rain with your body parts.
I don't even, I feel like this is a location reference, but I can't think of it. Unless it's Tiny Tina's place, which should be inside a cave. But if it's not a reference to Tiny Tina's place, whatever. That you can recreate locations. I don't mind that. That's not going to bother me as much.
Minimal explosion.
I said no explosion.
And Roland and Tiny Tina had such a wholesome relationship. So this just, again, it's not accurate to the games, man. And that's my overall take. This film could be really, really good if you don't know the game lore and if you don't care about it being accurate to the game lore. Because otherwise, it's just a mixed match of things and it ultimately just isn't that good. It's not amazing. It's not golden. It's not nothing, really. It's super mid. This scene really upsets me. Roland would never, like, I get you have to make a movie, but Roland's character would never just smile like that. He was a very serious, stoic, like, I'm a soldier, I lead an army kind of guy. He was very... That's why his relationship with Lilith failed in the games, but anyway. Neither here nor there. Claptrap is a bad man, so this doesn't bother me. And Claptrap would be goated, because this could be before he gets wiped from his assassination program. So he could actually be able to do this. So that's nothing Claptrap really upsets me. This scene, this vehicle shows up in pre-sequel, and that's it. So they took a vehicle from pre-sequel, really. That's like realistically what they did here. Which, why the fuck are you taking a, you know, like...
Ooh, mine's bigger.
Also, I don't know, like, this, again, getting into the real nitty-gritty here. This gives me Borderlands 3 vibes / Borderlands 2 vibes. Because RPGs did not look like this in Borderlands 1. The way it builds, the pink, everything, it's super Tiny Tina, so they nailed that on the head. I'm not gonna sit here and bash that, but it's not a Borderlands 1 gun. And again, if you're making this as a Borderlands film, you need to have, oh man, because there's so much they could expand upon in Borderlands 1. It missed so much story. It was so lacking in so many degrees. And now it's just whatever. Like, it's so upsetting.
Ooh,
We're almost finished. Again, this scene. Tannis would never have killed anyone. Tannis barely killed anyone. When she was kidnapped, she barely did anything. She only destroyed the robot. Tannis is a doctor first. She doesn't kill people. Like, she, with her siren powers, even in Borderlands 3, if you play the games, you play every single game, she'll experiment on animals, but she wouldn't pick up a gun and fire it. She's never carried a gun with her. She's never been the one to start a fight or be violent. Maybe you could say at the end of 3, her character was becoming that, but like still, to see Tannis fresh out of her like anxiety hole, fresh out of her trauma, to be this, to be an old woman who is willing to kill people and isn't filled with anxiety. She has the echo. This is a cool touch. Like, her having the echo reader that she should have, like, because then you can say that this is an entirely different Tannis, because she has the echo reader that she threw away. She threw this away because of her bad attachment to it, and she was going crazy over it. You can listen to those logs. So it's a completely different Tannis. So I can take it as it's kind of like The Walking Dead, where characters have the same name, but they're completely polar opposites.
So you asked for it.
But yeah.
There's something want to be like.
And the Firehawk, the whole Firehawk thing came after Borderlands 1. She was known as, like, she wasn't really known as the Firehawk until Borderlands 2. So, you know? And
Kill them all.
again, this is what I love. Like, whoever this guy is, some people said Handsome Jack, some people said he's an Atlas guy, there's Atlas here. So he could be the director of Atlas. Why they're making him the big bad? Fuck knows. Commandant Steel could be a cool... I mean, Atlas was the big bad of Borderlands 1, but like, still, they were a much different kind of big bad. This right here. This right here is the biggest offense. Giving her this power to teleport, giving her the power to teleport in Borderlands 1 is a crime against the character. She needed Iridium. That's not even a thing yet. She didn't understand how to use her powers till she experimented with Iridium, which wouldn't even be a thing yet because it's not happened. This film is going to be a disaster because it doesn't make sense. They're giving her powers that she doesn't have. They're giving her abilities and names that she doesn't have. She's super famous, even though she shouldn't be because she wasn't really that famous. Like, sure, she had the Firehawk name. You can listen to the audio logs when they're like looking at her. Like, she did, but she wasn't a super famous person till after. And the Firehawk was a fucking crime lord. They've butchered this character, and this film is just a fuck fest, and it's such a mismatch, and it's so upsetting to see. Honestly, it's really upsetting to see. This, I don't even know what this is a reference to. You could say the Skag Hive, but that was much different, and it kind of gives me, with the tentacles, it gives me a Thrasher. It looks like a Thrasher. So one of the Thrasher raid bosses. So why they're throwing a Thrasher in here? Because Thrashers didn't show up again until Borderlands 2. So the mouth and the tentacles really give me Thrasher-esque vibes. I might throw a picture on stream for you just to see what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's just really bad. Really bad. But cool action scenes that make sense. But yeah. This scene is just comedy, and it's classic Borderlands humor, so I don't mind it. It doesn't upset me. This scene is really funny, and it is quite good. It's classic Borderlands humor. So again, I'm not gonna shit all over the film. It's funny. It's got a lot of good action, and it looks good. But it's a mix match, and it slams shit together. So you know, like, it's a fuck fest. It's all over it.
Are we really ready for this to finish?
I'll go back and point out. So yeah. Let me, I might cut, so if I don't cut, okay, I found the scene I want to talk about, right here, but in the back here, this is behind my head, so right here, that's a free radical, and that's a Borderlands 3 menu, that's a Borderlands 3 gun. So again, if you want to debate if the starting guy at the start is Mouthpiece or not, and you want to throw it up in the air if this guy,
because it's on the weirdest.
I'll throw a picture of Mouthpiece here. if you want to debate if this is Mouthpiece, cool, go right ahead. He has the literal thing and the literal horns. And since there are so many other Borderlands 3 vibes, Atlas is a massive one. Prometheus from Atlas is a massive one. Like, I don't know why they were so gun-ho and so locked in to just mixing all 3 games together. Like, there's so much story in Borderlands 2. You don't even really need to cover 1 if you don't want to. 1 doesn't have that much story, but I mean, if you wanted to expand upon it and make it your own thing, 1 would be the way to go for that. But again, Borderlands 2 has so much story. Why are you using Borderlands 3 characters? There's Captain Flint. There's so many other villains that you could use. Why are you using this guy who's Mouthpiece? He's just a random guy in Borderlands 3 that doesn't even really have any lore. Like, Captain Flint has the whole claptrap shit. He has the whole shit with, like, Sir Hamlock. Like, they've mixed so many games together and taken parts from each game to where they could probably make a second game with Thingy. But, like, what the fuck is the space station? Like, the space station that is just a random fucking space station? Like, you could say that that's Hyperion or Hyperia. Yeah, Hyperion. But, like, again, it's not a H. Like, there's no death beam. And sure, there shouldn't be Hyperion because that's not set up yet. But, like, I mean, the start of the Dahl Mines would have been a thing. You can tell that this is Dahl because it says it right there. So this is fine. The Dahl Mines are a thing way, way before in the Corporation Wars. So that's fine. But they've just taken so many things from different games. And my main takeaway is, this film might be good if you don't know anything about Borderlands. But if you know anything about the game in any capacity of the sense, it's just not a good film. Because it doesn't have a coherent storyline that you can compare to the games. So it's at this point, it's its own entity, which is sad to see that we won't get a faithful remake, nor will we get a faithful understanding of the Borderlands lore in a visual media that isn't the video games. And even then, like, with the way, like, run and gun loot and shooters are, that's not really a good way to, like, it's not a book. It's not, like, understanding it, like the comics and all that. Like, there's so many things that they could have pulled from, and instead they just said, fuck it, let's mix everything together. And it's so sad. Like, the fact that they changed Tannis' character so drastically in the first film is kind of sad. Like, they got rid of Mordecai and Brick, who actively mean a lot to Tina later on. And, like, the only pro is that Tina being here explains how and why Roland's death hits her so hard in it. Because Roland must have known her more so than just, you know, like, so that I can see it. But, like, her being in the original crew makes no sense. Makes no sense whatsoever. But yeah, my takeaway as Ghostface Phillip, I just don't think this film will be good overall. I think, unless you've never played a Borderlands game, obviously I can nitpick like small details like the gun in the vendor on the bus and random stuff like that, and I can pull it apart. But if you know anything about the Borderlands franchise and you've played even 3 or 2, you're going to be like, wait, this doesn't make sense. Why is he here? Why is this happening? Like, Atlas shouldn't be where they are right now. Atlas should be getting fucked by Athena. Is that even going to happen? Is Athena going to have a showcase in this end credit scene? Anything? Or are they just going to butcher that entire storyline? Like, and then if they butcher that entire storyline, does Reese just get butchered? Does Tails just get cut? Like, it's sad. It's really sad to see as a Borderlands fan. As like a 10, 15 year Borderlands fan. I'm what, 23? Yeah, I would have been, it's been around that. It's been like 12 to 15 years. They've butchered this game. Or they've butchered the lore of this game. Because people's first introduction to it, a decent people will see this and think, oh, this is like the games. And then they'll play the games and like, oh, it's different. And they're going to dislike the games because it's different. And that upsets me. But yeah. I hope this video was informational and so on and so forth. All the YouTube stuff, I don't really care. Please like, please sub. I don't really post these kind of videos. I just stream and upload my streams. So if you like long form content, there you go. But yeah, I just wanted to upload my thoughts because, yeah, I can. Like, yeah, I have an opinion on this and I feel like I'm correct. So, yeah. Peace out. Ghostface Phillip out.